Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on when you're watching this. Just gave away when I'm recording it. It is in the evening, but I wanted to go over and talk about a small EDC fixed blade that I picked up at Amazon because, let's be honest, it was just too cheap, inexpensive to not try it out, and I kind of wanted to share it with you guys because if you're looking for a package opener, if you're looking for something, it comes as a neck knife and it's marketed as a neck knife. I kind of wear it on my belt just as a little grabber, and it's something that I use quite often to open packages and to do the types of cuts that I do in my urban EDC jungle. So if you guys would be so kind and if you're so inclined, please hit that subscribe button down below and that bell notification icon and let YouTube know that you're actually interested in EDC and knife content, and it'll really help the channel. So this is the first knife from Amazon. I bought several Brother Watchman's, some slip joints and some fixed blades. This is by a brand called Ccanku, and it's Ccanku. They have really inexpensive um, knives. They call them survival knives, whatever. But this is the Ccanku, the Ccanku, and the model number is the 1297. So it's the C1297. And what attracted me to this knife was A, that it was a small fixed blade, and B, that it was that little Wharncliffe design. So I love a Wharncliffe. This knife has got a long way to go from being perfect or anywhere close to perfect, but as a little box cutter, I think when you see the price of it, it's definitely worth taking a look at. So you do have this little bit of billboarding here that says Ccanku, however you pronounce that. I'm sure I'm pronouncing it wrong. And it has the blade steel, which is 9CR18 MOV. So very basic little knife. Let's get some paper. I don't know how long it holds an edge, but it has been and cut several packages, several different things. It's kind of I look at it as a utility, get in there, make a cut type of knife. I mean, that's mostly what I've been finding myself using it for, making these type of cuts. Um, but in either case, it's very, very small. It takes up very little room, and it weighs almost nothing. So you've got this 9CR 18 MOV blade that's full tang, that comes, all the way around with this little finger catch. I'd call this a two-finger, three-finger knife. You've got this choil that locks you in. You've got this wonky plunge grind here, or plunge line, where you can see that it's already kind of funky on the way they sharpened it. But on a knife of this size that costs, I don't think I've told you guys yet, $11.99, $12 knife, I can look past that. I'm not that worried about it. I can use this almost as a disposable knife and be happy doing so, like I have been with this knife. It is G10 scale, so you've got this thin G10 scale that sits on top of that 9CR18 MOV blade and that tang, and it really gives you, I wouldn't want to cut down a bunch of cardboard with this little knife. I wouldn't want to do any serious feather sticking with this knife, but in terms of having it on my side and being able to use it for utility cuts, for detailed cuts, to open a package, to be a package opener, uh, anything like that, or heaven forbid, even just be a deterrent. It's a nice little package. It has jimping here in kind of a weird place, not where I would normally hold the knife, but then again, the jimping could have something to do with the retention in this little sheath, because the retention in this little Kydex sheath is fantastic. I mean, there's absolutely no rattle in here. It carries really well. The holes are big enough for you to run a secondary either strap or an ulti-clip through it if you don't want to be married to the chain that they give you for a neck knife. But this knife would actually make a really good neck knife. It is that little, it is that light. So let's take a look at this little knife. I find that I've got my finger up here towards the front of the knife more. And I know you probably wouldn't want to jump it up there, nor would you need to for the types of cuts I'm making. But let's get a look at this knife next to a couple of little folders that you might be familiar with, like the Civivi Baby Banta or the Bug Out Benchmade Mini Bug Out. So guys, it is a tiny, tiny little knife. I will give you a couple of comparisons next to fixed blades that we've seen here on the channel that I think a lot of people might be familiar with. This is the Bradford Guardian 3 with a hair on it. My carded hair or something. That's bizarre. Little leather fiber. But that's the Bradford Guardian 3. And this is my Jason Grant J-Cal. And this is my small J-Cal, my smallest as of now. And you can tell that the little C1297 is half the size of both of those knives. So I got a couple of others that we can look at real quickly. Then we'll get some measurements and a weight, and you guys will see that it is really a very small knife. This is the Jacob Creates Chickadee. And this is the value knife of EDC Fixed Blade Year, the Tucson TS 150. So you can see that the Ccanku C1297 is about half an inch smaller than the Tucson TS 150. Great little knife for under 50-60 bucks in S90V. And it is also a good bit smaller than the Jacob Creates Chickadee in MagnaCut. So let's break out my little promotional ruler, and we'll see that this knife comes in right over 4 inches, like just a smidge over 4 inches, maybe 4 1/4 if you want to be generous. And if we want to measure that blade, it's got an 1 3/4 blade with right over an 1.5 inch cutting edge. And if you measure it back to where that finger choil is, it gives you 2.5 inches. So you've got 2.5 inches there, and then your actual handle is 2.5 inches as well. So it splits that right in the middle here. So you've got 2.5 inches from here to get your grip on. And again, when I say get your grip on, just get a hold of it, because again, the type of cuts that you're going to be making with this knife, I'm going to think are going to be very, very minor cuts, quick cuts. Let's take a look at the actual blade stock thickness on this guy. 0.1075. Back behind the edge. Oops, 0.0275. And then the thickness with that G10 scale is 0.267. So still well under 1/4 of an inch. And then if we get the scale, all right, this little guy weighs 1.35 ounces. In its sheath with a strap, it's 2.15 ounces. So guys, it is a very small little knife that is a great little pocket dropper. I like to wear it on my belt. For nothing more, if you get it for nothing more than opening packages or making detailed cuts or utility cuts, this thing's $11.99 on Amazon. Again, I'm not saying it's going to last a long time, I'm not going to say there's not a lot better knives out there for opening packages. I can just say for a small EDC knife to get things cut and to get things punctured or sliced, this little knife does it on a budget. Am I blown away by it? No. Would I recommend it to a friend who is looking to spend 12 bucks, 13 bucks on a knife to try one out? Sure. To me, it was kind of a novelty. I wanted to bring it in and see what it was all about, and I'm glad I did. Again, it gave me, I'd seen this knife a lot. For one, I thought it was a lot bigger till I got it in actual person, and it's just a fun little knife. So, again, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you for watching the video. I want to give a special shout out, a special thank you to all my channel members. I appreciate you all more than you know. And for just anybody who takes the time to come and watch any of my content, I appreciate you. I'm glad you come, and I hope I can keep putting out content that interests you and brings you around. In the meantime, if you guys would, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.